What's up, guys? It's Clayton. So today we're going to be talking about this whole Syria situation. So if you don't know, there was a chemical gas attack on April 4th that the Assad government did in Syria. And if you don't know, Russia and the Assad government are allies, and Russia is helping Assad fight the civil war in Syria. So basically what happens, Assad chemically gases a village, kills 72 people, including innocent women and children. And then on April 6th, Donald Trump has 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles fired at an airbase in Syria controlled by the Assad government. So basically the conspiracy theory's been making its rounds on Twitter, but it made its mainstream debut on the Lawrence O'Donnell show, which is a liberal guy who has a show on MSNBC. So I believe this theory, which is why I'm going to make a whole video about it, but I'll try to make it as short and concise as possible. Basically, the theory is that Assad chemically gases this village, and then Trump and Putin get together, and they look at the situation in the United States where Trump is under investigation by the FBI and Congress over election interference by the Russians and having too many close ties with the Russians. And they think, hey, this is going to be a great time to distract the American public and get their thoughts and minds off of Russia and the US connection. So basically Trump checks with Putin and says, hey, I'm going to fire 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles at this air base in Syria that's controlled by the Assad government. And he warns the Russians. He says we're going to do this and lets the Russians leave. So of course, since Trump's the master manipulator, especially of the media, the American media comes out and says, this is so presidential. Trump looks like a true leader. He finally looks like a president. And then Russia puts out a statement and says, hey, that was an act of aggression. To make it seem like, now Putin and Trump are at odds, to quiet the liberals, to quiet the media. And you got to think, what's Putin going to get out of this? Well, he has to sacrifice Assad, which is nothing considering that Assad can't even win a civil war within his own country. And in the end, all Putin wants is to be able to control or have influence over the future government of Syria based on the ports that Syria has access to. And then on the surface, Trump looks like a leader. He finally looks like he's doing something with his presidency, which has been a complete flop for 80 days. And this bombing finally gives Trump's presidency a purpose, and then it takes people's eyes off of all the investigations and corruptions that are occurring within the Trump administration. So to top things all off, which really makes me believe this theory, is that on Friday, the day after Trump bombed this airbase, Reuters reports Syrian warplanes take off from airbase hit by U.S., carry out strikes in the Homs countryside, Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. So what was the purpose of this bombing if it didn't even disable an airbase that supposedly had chemical weapons on it? I'll tell you, the purpose was to distract the American people, and the American media is playing right into Trump's hand. He has them eating out of the palm of his hand, and even the liberals on TV are talking about how strong of a leader he looks. The whole situation just doesn't make sense. Trump says he cares about Syrians, he cares about Syrian children, the innocent children that were killed, and yet he's cutting foreign aid, and he's trying to block Syrian refugees into the United States. So you're telling me the only way in Trump's mind to help Syrians is to bomb their country with Tomahawk cruise missiles? Are you fucking joking me? So to wrap up, the whole bombing was a complete distraction. Trump changed the conversation, and he did it very well. We're no longer talking about the Russian interference in our election and the Russian hacking anymore. Now we're talking about Syria and what's the plan with Syria. Will there be troops on the ground? Is there going to be a no-fly zone? Just don't let yourself be manipulated by the media and by Donald Trump himself. We have to keep resisting. That's all I got for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed. See ya. Like and subscribe.